Hey, true believers. The slow burn continues in the pages of Marvel Comics Presents number 74. So as we found out in the last issue, we were left kind of on a cliffhanger of the operation with Wolverine going kind of like, they were saying that things are rapidly happening, and the professor just leaves the experiment, and Cornelius and Hines don't know what to do. So, as we enter into this one, well, before we enter into the review, let's talk about who made this awesome book, which we already know, but I love to give credit where credit is due. This is Weapon X, Chapter 2, and it says, the professor has begun his mysterious experiment on Logan. And of course, the story and the art meaning the actual pencils, ink, colors, and all that good stuff was by Barry Windsor-Smith, and the lettering was done by Jim Novak along with Barry Windsor-Smith. Now, as we've talked about in the last couple of reviews, the Marvel Comics Presents was like a showcase book. So in this one, it's Shana, I think is how you say it, Constrictor, and the Iceman, and the Human Torch. But, like I said, for these, we are just focusing on the Weapon X portion because that's what this series is about. So we open up on this voiceover saying, "It is I. It's safe. No one can hear me. Yes, I know. But I have something to say. Yes, the operation is proceeding right now. Yes. Of course he'll survive it. That's the point. You knew. You knew that Logan was a mutant." So we kind of come here to the post-operation, and you see Logan. I mean, this page is just harrowing. See, I could actually say it this time. I couldn't say it the other morning because I hadn't had enough coffee. But I've hit my quota for the day, so I am G to G. You see Logan in this harrowing, just bundles of cable, just whoa. It's really, really hard to digest, to just think about how much pain this poor man must be in after having all that adamantium, sent into his body and whatnot. And so what I like is after you've read the first couple of issues, your brain starts to remember what color's what. So you see Cornelius here, status, resting doctor, but he's on the floor, not on his cot. It's okay. Anything to report? No, sir. Except what? Well, looks like this guy's really been through the mill. And then Cornelius just goes, huh, yeah. Keep an eye on him. Out. And so you just kind of see that these people that are working on this project, how they're just very much indifferent to what they've just done to another human being. And then also, it took the prologue in Chapter 1 to finally build up for the audience that these people find, or at least the professor finds out that Logan is a mutant. And you're just kind of like, huh, that's what I meant by a slow burn, is they don't give you all the information. They just like to let that suspense simmer, and you can just feel it, you know what I mean? And then we get this really cool panel of Cornelius where he looks otherworldly. And that's who you find out who that voiceover was, is him talking to somebody in the other room. And he goes, "This fact comes as quite a surprise. Why did you not inform me? I told you, no one can hear me. I'm in some lab down the hall. I can see the operation on a monitor. I must insist that you hear me out. Logan is a mutant. He has some kind of superhuman power to regenerate damaged tissue. He could be just about immortal. And you don't see fit to inform me of this somewhat important factor?" Now, what I like is how Cornelius is talking to this other person, and you have no idea who it is. There's no response. It's almost like he's talking to himself, but he's not. And then I love these flashbacks of the operation juxtaposed against how Logan looks now. And then what I like here is the soldier says, "Doctor," meaning Dr. Cornelius. He goes, "He just woke up. How does he look?" "Cow flop." "Is he moving?" "No, just staring." "Okay. Keep monitoring. Call me if anything happens. Out." And then you get another thing where it says, "Doctor?" "Yes. Status. What is it?" "He's moving now." "Violently?" He just leaned forward a bit. "Status." "Yes, sir." "You don't have to tell me every time the patient shifts weight." "Yes, sir." And so you just kind of see Logan here trying to recover from this major operation that they flung him through. And then finally things start to happen. Because like I said, you start getting these juxtapositions of the operation compared to these calm moments of Logan just sitting there. And then the next thing you see status. And that's Cornelius talking to this person. He goes, "Patient's fine, sir. He's just staring at his hand." "Hand?" "Yeah, the wires on his hands." "I'd better come over. Try to call the professor. Have him meet me there." Now, what's interesting about this panel is if you come up here to the top, like I said, you see Logan in the tank. And you see Cornelius talking to the professor, and he goes, "Cornelius, what is all the fuss?" "Professor, where are you?" "What do you want, doctor?" "We have a problem. Could you return to the OR?" "I'm busy. What is the problem?" "We can't account for it, and we're unable to stop it. Hands and wrists, there's excess adamantium drained to the minima flexo." So, for us, the readers that have been reading X-Men for a long time, we know that that means that the extra adamantium is flowing to Wolverine's claws. But these people don't know it, and I love how, again, this slow burn just slowly builds up. And then as I was saying, things start to happen because Status starts talking to the doctors, and then Status says, "Oh my God, blood's spurting out of his hands. Something's happening." He's like, "Oh, blood." And he just says, "I need help here. I'm all alone in the lab." Keep that in mind right there. And they go, he's just gushing blood. I can't help him. I'm not trained for this." And you just see these violent, very well rendered pieces by Windsor-Smith here showing that Wolverine's claws popping. And this kind of morbidly reminds me of Alien, when the alien is popping out of Kane's chest. This is very much akin to that, in my opinion, because this is, again, Windsor-Smith wrote this as a kind of a horror comic in the sense. And then right here, what I love is you just see, oh God, he's got like spikes coming out of him, right out of his hands. What shall I do? And Cornelius, remember when he said, the text said, "I'm in the lab all alone"? Well, Cornelius says here, then you should go in there and try to help the poor man. And you just get this close-up of Logan's premonition when he talks about dagger hands. So you just see these otherworldly looking things popping out, and you're just like, my God, what's happening? And by this point, Cornelius is called, and they all try to run to the lab. And you see him go, good Lord. He's dead. He's dead. What's happened in there? And they're just like, jeez. Because Wolverine made a short work of that poor tech. And then what's horrible is the fact that Cornelius here turns off the monitor after he tells the person to go in and help that poor man. And he watches the whole thing and then turns off the monitor and just goes, magnificent. So right here, you finally start to see what kind of people the Weapon X project is. Or at this point, they're calling it Experiment X, but we all know what that is. And you're just like, whoa. That's what I mean by a slow burn, is the first two issues was just like all this build up. And then this one starts to you start to feel things begin to escalate, because now Wolverine is an unstoppable, literal, unbreakable killing machine. And you just, whew. So that right there, my friends, is Chapter 2 of Marvel Comics Presents Weapon X. And you just, whoa, man. When I reread this one, I love the noirish way that they draw Logan all attached to the cables and whatnot. Really takes you aback, you know what I mean? And then just to see the way that the claws finally pop in this one, it kind of reminds me of Origin, which came years later, when he first pops his claws when his X gene kicks in, and he goes to town on the people in his home manor there. But this one right here, like I said, just reminds me of a horror movie, which is one of my favorite subjects, and it's just really it was really well done. It was really well done, and it kind of just makes you cringe a little bit in a good, like, horror way, not in a, wow, that was awkward way, you know what I mean? So yeah, this was a great comic book, and it works well in this anthology book, where it just gives you little bits and makes you want more each time. So y'all, if you've enjoyed this comic book or this review, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video across social media so that you can get your friends excited about literacy and reading. And the same with your family. That way you can sit down. This would very much be much more for mature people in the household to sit down and read together. I would not suggest anyone young, you know what I mean? Because this is a very violent book. But it's a piece of history, because this, like I said, this is the first time that we actually see a glimpse into Logan's past. Before this, during the Claremont run, we only got little hints here and there, but never like a full established story. And as we can see so far, we're only in Chapter 2. We've gone through 3, Prologue, Chapter 1, and now Chapter 2. And it's just, I love using this word, it's just swimmingly. So anyway, guys, like I said, if you've enjoyed this, make sure to follow us. And also, if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little X bell next to subscribe. That way, as we continue to upload content, you guys can come to the page and we can have a dialogue. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this book, because that's one of the main things I love about this medium, is being able to talk to people about it and get their insight as well. And you can also follow us on social media. I'll leave the links down in the descriptions below. And with that said, I hope you all continue to have a great Thursday night, and I'll check y'all on the next review. Thank you so much for stopping by.